Successful. I'm back up. Shit in hell. Ridiculous. My apologies. Good afternoon. I will sort this out just now. I have just suffered a power cut. And it surged everything out. But we are live again, by the way.
How the fuck can a power cut surge out a laptop?
It didn't. It surged out the modem.
The modem's your phone.
Yeah, it surged it out completely.
A power cut can't do that to a phone.
Well, it did it.
Your phone crashed.
No, the whole power went.
Well, your phone crashed as well then.
Because of it, I assume, yeah.
Well, that shouldn't work.
We are live. Let me just double check that we're actually live on YouTube.
Well, probably not because it's passed on to somebody else.
We are. Harold says hi. We're live. So I can only apologise about that. That was a pish poor start. Let me just quickly stick the thumbnail on this episode. John.
What?
Introduce the show.
Again?
Well, hopefully this time the power won't cut.
Yeah, and the title's wrong now on the show.
No, it's not.
It was.
It's all sorted. I've sorted it. Sorted everything.
Well, it still says Mr. Z's World 2 here.
That's the name of the show.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
The show's called Money Money Monkey.
That's right. Yes, it is. You changed it.
Fucking hell.
Right. Okay, I'll sort that in a minute. Right.
Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 178 of this fucking shit show called Chasing Dissent Live.
Yes, welcome. Welcome. Right, back to normal. Back to. I mean, look at my wonderful little Krampus over there. How you doing, John?
Well, I'm pissed off now, aren't I?
Well, we've got a bunch of people watching. We've actually got more people watching this feed than we're watching the last one, John.
Yeah.
So,
fucking sorry. Sorry, people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm
subjecting you to this shit.
It actually sounds to me like I'm having some extreme adverse weather. Anyhow, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. Where do we start today, John?
Fucking, we're going to start with a troll.
Yes,
right?
we are.
I mean, how many people other than French presidents leave their country in the middle of a war?
Someone who's not at war?
Yeah, someone who's making a movie.
Someone who's playing the best role of his life.
Yeah, the actor known as Voldemort.
Well, Voldemort, Vladimir, two are quite interchangeable.
I don't give a shit
really.
what his name is. He's a little gay bent twat with a trophy wife.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a beard, isn't she?
Yeah, for fuck's sake, she's a precautionary wife because he's I mean, right, one, she's like, what, a head taller than him? Does she like dwarfs?
Maybe. Don't be too...
I've yet to meet a woman that actually likes dwarfs.
I'll tell you who does want themselves a bit of Vladimir. It's the two women standing behind him in this photo. Look at the way they are looking at him.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Yeah, but they're just... Well, one of them's a complete oddball and the other one's Nancy Pelosi.
I was going to say, could you actually imagine, like, a bedroom rendezvous with Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi?
No.
Oof. It would be enough to make one want to visit the Japanese suicide forest.
Jesus Christ, you've just gone too far, Ben. I mean, there's a limit to where you can go.
Well, I disagree. There is no limit, but
on YouTube, I think there's a limit.
let's go back to the image just for a minute, right? Look at the way they are looking at
No, I'm not going there. Even worse than that, did you see? I don't know if it's photoshopped or not, right? So I didn't include it, but the photograph of Biden with his hand on Zelensky's arse.
No.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if it's photoshopped or whatever, but there's a photograph of them standing on the White House steps in the red carpet, and he is a touchy-feely old fucking sniffing pervy bastard, right?
I need to smell what I'm spending my money on.
He had his arm round his shoulder at one point, and then it starts sliding down his back.
Yep.
And it seems to have eventually come to rest on his arse. Now, the thing that gets me is, one, Zelensky hasn't flinched.
Of course not.
Two, I'm pretty sure Zelensky be used to that kind of behaviour anyway. So, three, it could be real, but again, it might not be. But yeah, so he's there begging for more money, and according to fucking all the warmongering Democrats on Twitter who are having like miniature orgasms as we speak, he made a resounding speech to Congress, one of the best I've ever heard, better than any other congressional speech.
Pelosi there, she compared it to Churchill.
Fuck off, Pelosi. I mean, just ridiculous. I mean, she'll remember Churchill. That's the thing.
She will remember Churchill, but you actually, will she remember Churchill? Because I don't think she remembers this morning.
Well, but you find that like Biden can probably remember. He can probably remember when Jill was 23 and he was 32.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
He can probably remember that better than he can remember what he had for his breakfast.
Yeah, but remember, guys, Nancy's all in on this Ukraine thing because Bano sent me an email. Nancy loves it.
Nancy's all in this Ukraine thing because she's up to her fucking neck in the money laundering business.
Of course she's up to her neck in the money laundering business, allegedly.
And that's why she was all over Taiwan as well. Well, she was all over Taiwan trying to rescue her husband's
investments,
business. Yeah, he's another one. He's another one with a precautionary wife. What is it with these people? How can they not have a straightforward sexual relationship, right? I mean, they all seem to have perverts and deviants as their partners. Now, you'd think going into politics, that's the last thing you would want, right?
Yeah, but let me throw you a curveball.
They're set up.
Well, no. This curveball is this. We're human beings, right? And aren't we all, to an extent, perverts and deviants? In our own way.
Hold on a minute. Even if you were, right? If you're in that kind of... You're going down that route, every move you make is going to be scrutinised. Yeah. Hyper-scrutinised. You're constantly under scrutiny. You're constantly at risk of getting your privacy invaded. You've got media hounding you from one side to the other. Well, maybe not so much if you're a Democrat, but you've generally got media hounding you. You've got the public wanting to know what's going on. Yeah. Your life is lived under a microscope, and you go and be a fucking Philip Schofield, right? Or Nancy Pelosi's husband or whatever. Why would you do that? If you're going to do it, That's fine. And people get away with doing it. Like, if you're Keith Lemon's gay, isn't he?
Lee Francis is his real name.
Yeah, he's gay, isn't he?
I have no idea.
He's got to be. Right, but anyway, he doesn't hide it. Right? So, why hide these things like Schofield? I mean, why have a wife and kids and all that when you're bent as a 10-bob note?
I don't know. It's
You know, why do people do that? Why do they think they have to do that?
Well, you're completely right, because we are not discriminatory here on this program. We don't care how people live. We don't care who people want to sleep with. You go and do you, right? At the end of the day, but
but be honest about it.
Yeah, be honest about it. If you're gay, if you're bisexual, if you think you're the other gender, we don't care, right? Just be honest about it. Just be upfront, because if you can't even be upfront to yourself about something, and that's what hiding it really is lying to yourself, then how can we expect you to be honest with us?
Well, we can't. We can't, because what are the two main aims of government?
Feather their own nest, control the population.
That's it. And all possible means are fair game to them to do so.
Yeah. Now, like, we're not having a go at people who want to be like this. I mean, Vladimir Zelensky quite obviously has a beard, right? Quite obviously. Yeah. She is his beard. And that's why she probably gets away with the $40,000 or euros in one shot, because she has to keep stum. So, Yeah. Yeah, but what I mean, this is the thing. Well, he can't be open about it in Ukraine, because it's just not tolerated there. It's a borderline. It's a borderline former Soviet bloc country, right? Yeah.
Which has very strong views on male and women's rights, and most of them are quite harsh from the point of view of almost fundamental Christians. Christians?
Christians.
Yeah, almost fundamental Christians, aren't they?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, they are.
I mean, in fact, that brings me on to Voldemort and what he's done. In fact, there might be a slide. Let me check.
I've got a slide up. Tulsi Gabbard and Tucker Carlson discuss Zelensky. He has threatened to punish any Christian caught worshipping in an unapproved way. What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
No, I don't see. I don't know. I don't know what the approved way of worshipping is for a Christian. Okay, maybe I should, because I'm, although not a strong believer in a large deity in the sky, I don't know what the approved way of worship is for a Christian. I thought all you had to do was basically just talk to them in your head, right?
I'll tell you what the approved way is, according to Vladimir. This is just my opinion, but he's going to retcon the entirety of the religion to have his face put on all statues of Jesus.
On candles.
On Vlandels, yeah. You're going to have to worship Vlad. You're going to have to... Or Vleezus. Vleezus.
I mean, you remember he banned the Russian Orthodox Church.
He did.
And that is a Christian organisation, is it not?
I would assume so.
So I'm assuming this is having a go at people who maybe try and worship using... It's like maybe Nippy Sturgeon could turn around and go, no fucking English services up here. Scottish church services only. None of your English pish.
None of your English pish. But going back to what you were saying a minute ago, right? Going back to what you were saying and the tolerance of gay people in places like Russia and Ukraine. I mean, we can go back to the Winter Olympics, which was in Sochi, wasn't it? And we had the leader of Sochi on television, in documentaries and in news articles going, there are no gay bars here because there are no gay people here.
Well, exactly. It's just not. They don't see it.
They
deliberately don't see it, right? But they don't see it. It's not tolerated.
No, it's not tolerated.
I mean, and hold on, before you get all whole now and think, oh, we're so much better than that. I mean, what's his name? Fucking Alan Turing committed suicide because of the persecution he got. He fucking broke the codes and won the war, but he still committed suicide because of the persecution he got. Yeah. Because of his proclivities towards homosexuality, which they tried to actually cure him of.
They tried conversion therapy on him, did they?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I look at some...
And that was only, early 50s that he committed suicide, wasn't it?
So I look at, and this might sound harsh, right? But I see some of the trans lobby, the real militant lot, yeah? Not trans people in general. I'm not painting everyone with this brush, but I see some of them as trying to practice a really weird militant form of conversion therapy. Right?
The other way.
well, no, not even the other way. They're saying, "Oh, you're not gay. You're just a girl who likes guys." So it's really weird because in places like in some Middle Eastern countries, that can be done to you by law. You're not gay. You're just a woman. So they'll perform the surgeries on you rather than, prosecute you for being gay. But it just feels to me like some of the militant Iran, Natasha says. Iran, yeah, absolutely. Some of the militant wing of the trans lobby seem to me like they are just wanting to practice some kind of conversion therapy.
It seems to me that some of the militant wing of the trans lobby just want a fucking fight.
Yeah.
That's basically seems to be what they're just out for, a fight. And no matter what you say or how reasonable you want to be or how you dress it up, they're going to disagree with you and they're going to have their fight because that's their agenda. And there's
currency.
No swaying from it. That is the route they're going to go down.
It's currency to them, right? Because they have to have some kind of grievance. Because if they have no grievance, they have no cause. If they have no cause, they might actually have to go work at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's really that simple. These people barter and trade in grievance. It is their currency. And
well, you're right. And the thing is, it extends to more than just trans and LGBTQ.
Of course it does, yeah.
I mean, you even go down look at the Just Stop Oil thing. I watched a video this morning. Some Just Stop Oiler was getting schooled on who our funding came from. And she's like, well, I'm prepared to have a sensible discussion with you about oil and the multinational corporations, but you're just throwing things at me. And he goes, no, I'm not. I'm telling you the facts.
Yeah.
You are funded
by oil.
By John Paul Getty.
You're funded by oil.
You're funded by John Paul Getty, who amassed his billionaire fortune from oil.
Yes, they are.
And it's there in the public record. It's not something that's hidden. You can go and discover it. They are.
But it is like you say. It is. All causes the world over are there because the people. Well, a lot of causes, not all, but a lot of causes are simply there because people need a cause. I mean, look at the thing like white privilege. Not true. But it's a cause that people can fight. Oh, white people have privilege, this, that, the other. But there are literally professors at universities in this country who literally do nothing but teach grievance. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. And sometimes I wonder, and you look at things like chimpanzees, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go into this topic because I don't know how, but I ended up watching a documentary about chimpanzees.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
Yesterday.
Why not? Right? Why not?
And it was this huge population of chimpanzees that have this territory and this thing. And these couple of guys had gone in and they were like, they'd taken... I mean, right, this is your life's work, right? Okay, so your life's work is to fucking befriend a troop of chimpanzees. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's your life's work. Because it took them like 10 to 15 years before the chimpanzees would tolerate them, right? And then they found one chimpanzee who was quite easygoing, and he would let them follow him about and things like that, and he would keep them protected from the rest of them. But there was like 120 chimpanzees in this troop, right? Which is one of the biggest. And then, 10 years later, there's over 200 chimpanzees in this group, right? And they'd systematically picked off chimps from a neighbouring colony. And you know what they did? See, when they got them, 4 big males would grab a limb each and just pull.
Yeah.
And that's chimpanzees. They are vicious fucking bastards.
They really are. I mean, if you've ever seen them in the zoo, they are. Oh, yeah.
Elon Musk is going to be using these bastards to fucking plant a chip in their brain and mine the moon. And then they're going to come back and they're going to kick our butt. I'm telling you, Planet of the Apes is a fucking documentary.
When they learn to use firearms, we are fucked.
Well, the problem is they've got thumbs unlike cats.
Yes, they do. They do. They've got...
See, cats are no fucking use because they don't have thumbs.
Right.
They're never going to get anywhere. Same with dogs. Never going to get anywhere. No thumbs. But chimps... The problem, the thing I see is, I mean, they say that we're descended from the apes, right? Then I'm going off on a tangent here. But if we're descended from the apes, why is there so many fucking apes still about?
That's a very good question, isn't it?
And where's the link? Because never found one. Never.
No, and why are we the only species on the planet with the capability to create technology?
Good question.
Yeah.
Maybe we're the fuck. I fucking just had another revelation.
Go on then, tell us.
I'm not saying it's aliens, right? But do you think maybe we are fucking some alien Elon Musk's chimpanzees mining right now on this planet?
Could be. Could be.
Fuck it, that's what we are. We are nothing but super intelligent chimps. Have been designed to mine for some alien god who has since fucked off and left us to our own devices.
That's why sometimes I wake up and have to do that.
We are the product of aliens, yeah.
I mean, we have no fur. We just have...
Oh, God.
We have the occasional stylish bit of fur that appears on our faces. Right?
What are we going to do, man? What are we going to do?
I honestly don't know.
It's a mockery of everything.
Tony says we're the aliens.
Yeah.
Spencer says mind blown.
That's it.
DW says, I've thought of that before. Spencer says, John's a genius. And Adam says, this show has become Ancient Aliens.
It's not become Ancient Aliens. We are the Ancient Aliens.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, my God. I mean, it's just as well Christmas is coming. We need a break. Oh, hold on. How many breaks are we having over the Christmas and New Year period, Ben? Do tell us.
None.
We'll be here for you when you need your news on Monday. You'll be there.
We're doing the Boxing Day. We're doing the Boxing Day show.
Boxing Day bonanza.
It might even be a bumper show on Boxing Day.
Bumper Boxing Day bonanza.
We shall see. Artifacting Reality wants to know if Putin built the pyramids.
No. What kind of stupid question is that? Artifacting. Come on, get a grip, man. Get a grip.
Right. Speaking of getting a grip, this man is making waves, right? Piers Morgan first had Andrew Tate on last month, I think, to basically attack him, right?
Yeah.
Now he loves him.
You know what? I don't really like Piers Morgan, okay? But sometimes you got to agree with him.
Yeah.
I like a broken watch. It's right twice a day, unless it's a digital watch when it's never right at all.
I'll tell you what, I do like Piers Morgan's Death Row shows that he did. I think they were very good.
Do you? I find it difficult to watch them for an extended period of time because the feeling of the bile and the sickness tends to rise in my throat.
Look, but like you said, we can look at when somebody is an arsehole, and we can look at when that arsehole does all right things, right?
Well, you know what? I think one of the biggest secrets in life is to realise that you indeed are an arsehole yourself, generally.
What do you mean that's a secret?
Well, no, but a lot of people don't realise that they're actually arseholes.
See, me and Spencer...
They think they're the fucking bee's knees.
Me and Spencer were in Argos the other day, right? And there was some kind of weird alarm going off, and then I just started convulsing to it in the middle of the shop, and I just looked around, and there were people looking at me, and I just went, yeah, I am an arsehole.
Hold on, you've already told us that story.
No, I didn't tell you on the show. I told you during Fortnite the other night. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
You are an arsehole.
Yeah, I am. So are you, John.
I know, I'm an arsehole.
Right, I think...
Oh, I'd go further. I think I may be a cunt.
Right, but I think it's a rite of passage for every child, isn't it? To really to work out and discover that your dad is an arsehole.
Yeah, well, it's actually more of a rite of passage for every child to realise that they indeed themselves are an actual arsehole.
Yeah, but then it's always quite funny when they realise their mother's an arsehole too.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, as a species, we are inherently selfish, we are inherently arseholes, and we want to get ahead. This is why communism can't work, because it relies on people not having these traits, and human beings have these traits. And then all that happens is the human beings that have the most of those traits get at the top, put themselves ahead, and fuck you over.
Yeah, and this is why woke can't work either.
Yeah.
Because it's the same problem. You've got people with the most stupid traits get into positions of power.
Yeah.
And this is why go broke works. And now, Andrew Tate himself is probably the king of arseholes.
Oh, yeah, he's a massive arsehole.
Right. But a lot of what he says is right.
Yeah. No, you know what? I can't sugarcoat it. A lot of what he says is right. And a lot of what he says simply boils down to traditionalism.
Yeah.
Simply boils...
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not even traditionalism. It's like he will say things that, I mean, and he's probably been a bit of a Clarkson here, in that he's saying things deliberately to provoke people.
Yes,
right?
he is.
He'll say things like women can't park, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while some women can park, you will find that most women, because they don't have the same spatial awareness as men,
mm-hmm.
don't park as well.
Mm.
Right? Now, before you all jump down my neck and say women are better drivers, they have less accidents and all, that's pish, right?
That is pish. I mean, my wife has crashed a car at least 7 times. I've crashed it none.
But that's because she has less spatial awareness. Women have a less spatial awareness than men because women aren't hunters. And the thing is, if you've been bred for 200,000, 300,000 years to go and hunt for your dinner,
mm-hmm.
right, you become binocular vision focused. You have a great spatial awareness. You can throw a ball, or should it be a spear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Accurately, generally, okay? And these things are all things that hunters do. Now,
mm-hmm.
women traditionally don't hunt because, one, you can't run as fast. And before you start, and I might sound like Andrew Tate here, but women and men are not built equally, and they're not made equally, and they can never be equal, right? And you can't have equality in tasks that biologically you cannot do. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. And this is where this society is starting to fail, because they are saying that women deserve equality. Fine, right?
Yep.
And should be equal in all things. Well, that doesn't work, because you can't be equal in all things. It's like peripheral vision. I cannot equal a woman, right? Because women's eyes are built differently. They've got more cones than rods. Okay, so they see peripherally better and distinguish more colours. So all these TVs that have 16 million, whatever, 256 billion colours, they're designed for women, not for guys, right? We'd probably be okay with, the basic 16-bit. So there are big differences, and women are designed to... They're designed to have children, so it's on every further apart.
It's on every level, isn't it? Like, let's talk about. I mean, it might be a bad example for me because of autism, but empathy, right? Women experience and feel empathy generally better than men do.
Yeah.
Because once again, we are built to essentially kill. Right?
Yeah, well, if you're going to kill something, you can't really go, oh, that's dead cute, but I'm a bit hungry. Oh, it's so cute. Can I eat that? I couldn't eat that because it's too cute. And,
Turn your speakers off. Turn your speakers off, John.
Dead.
But no, you're absolutely right. Because I still get the primal urge sometimes, and I do. This is absolutely true. To go and hunt for my dinner. Right? I see a cow in a field, and I go, steak? Steak?
Right, hold on a minute.
Steak?
When I mean, cows are big, right? I remember as a child, because we never used to have computers and things, because yes, it was before we had video games. I mean, I remember when Pong came out as a video game. Right, I mean, that was the video game. So anyway, we didn't really spend a lot of time playing with computers or whatever. We watched the telly for an hour at night between 5 and 6, because the news started at 6. So the kids program started when the school finished at 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Right, not fucking 3:20, 4 o'clock. So anyway. And you'd been in there since before 9, 10 to 9 it opened, and you went in at 10 to 9. So anyway, we were out and playing about and walking through fields and all that shit as kids do, or as kids used to do.
Yep.
And I have never once looked at a cow and thought, I could take that. Because they are fucking big.
Tony Garrett.
You need a whole team to take down a cow.
Tony Garrett says, I yell mint sauce at lambs.
Come on, we all do. We all do.
I mean, I don't like mint sauce, but
yeah, red currant sauce.
I'm going to be completely honest with you, John. I'm the complete opposite. I look at animals, cows especially, in the field, and I go, that could be my dinner.
Yeah,
that could be my dinner.
Well, I mean, and I hate to bring it up, but Fortnite's got it right.
In what way?
Well, you can ride a pig or a wolf, and when I say ride, I mean use it as a means of transport in Fortnite, right? Until it drops down, and then you can turn around, shoot it, and eat it.
You can,
and it reinforces your health.
It does. Yes, you can. And yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that's why Amundsen took dogs, hasn't it? And Scott didn't, because the British didn't really want to eat the dogs.
No.
And so they ended up eating nothing or themselves and died on the ice when Amundsen got to the South Pole and got back.
I'd eat the dogs. I'm not going to lie.
I would eat I mean, listen, if it came down to it, you would eat the dogs.
Yeah.
You would. I mean, look at those guys that crashed in the Andes, the football team. You know, they ate the goalkeeper.
Yeah. I mean, we shouldn't laugh, but...
And then they got done for cannibalism. Now, you're in a fucking lose-lose situation there.
You really are.
Yeah, so you don't eat them and you die and get eaten, right, by your colleagues, or you eat them, don't die, and get done for cannibalism.
So
I mean, come on.
Artifacting Reality says this country is going to the dogs. You can't even get a good horse meat lasagna these days.
Vaughn, there's no way you could tip a cow, Vaughn. No way.
Shall we move on? Because we've only just got past the fourth slide, John.
Well, there are only 14, remember, and like 4 or 5 of them are funnies.
But let's move on to James Bembridge, shall we?
Had we covered everything that Andrew Tate had said, though?
No, we haven't. We just went off on a massive tangent.
Yeah, so one thing I wanted to ask, but people say Andrew Tate is a misogynist.
No, I disagree.
But even if he is a misogynist, is being a misogynist wrong? Because there are differences, clear and unmistakable differences between biological men and biological women.
No, John, you've got that entire framing wrong.
Oh, right, okay.
Because pointing out factual reality is not misogyny.
Okay. Well, Andrew Tate does tend to point out factual reality.
Yeah, but just pointing out realistic biological reality is not misogyny.
He says things like, he says things about what women want, though. So that's not a biological fact.
Always. Very welcome.
What the fuck?
What did she say to you, John? Did your phone just talk to you?
Yeah.
She just trying to have a little chat, is she?
Yeah. What the fuck is this pish?
What is that? Is that Cortana or whatever it's called?
No, it's Google. It said you are, as always, very welcome.
That's quite interesting, that.
That just proves.
She's listening to you.
Listening.
She's listening to you
all the time, because that phone's not even fucking connected to the internet. That phone's not even got a SIM card in it.
Interesting.
And it was turned off.
But no, yeah, I don't think Andrew Tate is a misogynist. I don't think the things that he says are misogyny. What I think they are uncomfortable truths that people who have a currency in grievance need to label anything they can to shut down, because it proves their arguments completely wrong.
Yeah, we're back to square one again, aren't we?
We absolutely are, because let's face it, if somebody says something and then you label them a racist, the headline or whatever is that person's a racist, not the thing that they've said is absolutely true, and therefore the person is discredited rather than the argument. So therefore the argument coming from the person must be bad because the person's bad. This is what they do, right? The person's not bad. The person's not that thing. Andrew Tate's not that thing. An arsehole, he is. A misogynist, I would say not. But they label him that because something true coming from an arsehole is probably more true than something true coming from a Samaritan or a saint, right? Because by definition, an arsehole is an arsehole, and an arsehole is probably going to tell you uncomfortable truths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think all these people have like some kind of mad crypto cult thing going on, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they all kind of run cults and training courses.
I mean, it's not really a crypto cult that Andrew Tate runs. It's more of a Hustlers University.
Yeah, that's more like it.
It's not crypto. It's more, manly man, be a man.
It's a bit like that guy. Oh fuck! What was his name? That's got the Scottish Castle, the billionaire.
I know who you mean.
And he was charging people $20,000 a go to go to his Scottish mansion over the weekend and get bullied.
See, we could charge people $20,000 to get bullied by us. That'd be pretty easy. We could do that. That'd be pretty easy. Do that.
You fucking horrible little man.
I think we'd have too much fun doing that.
Yeah, I would.
I really do. I think it would be pretty bad.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get Ant and Dec on your course?
Oh. Oh. By the time Ant and Dec were finished with our weekend course, they would have finally admitted it and moved in together.
Yeah. Like Markham and Wise.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, go on then.
Right. Right.
Speaking of ball bags.
Yep. Where is Bembridge, by the way? Isn't he supposed to come on the show?
It's not Bembridge. Oh, well, yeah, I know. I missed a phone call that I was supposed to make, and, well, he asked me to phone him at a certain time, and I missed the message, and then he hasn't come back to me, although maybe because I called him mate, I should probably have called him Mr. Bembridge.
Well, you've got the phone number, right?
Yeah, I think I might have, so I might just give him a call at some point.
Yeah, just give him a call.
Right, so Boris Johnson's crawled back out from under his rock, and for some reason he wants us to turn our Christmas lights off.
That was last night. It was meant to happen last night.
Oh, was it last night?
Yeah.
Did it happen?
Well, I turned more of mine on.
Yeah. Did you have a look out to see if anyone had taken cognizance of this?
Unfortunately not, because I was in here trying to build the sound rig for tonight's show.
Okay. Right, so anybody in the troll room know?
But personally speaking, James Bembridge says, I'm resigned to the fact that the Tories support supranational organisations rather than their citizens. At least Rishi keeps his head down and quietly gets on with the job of ruining our country. He doesn't come out with these lame, piddling platitudes.
Well, he's got a bit of a point. But I don't think Rishi keeps his head down. I think he's just plotting his next fucking disaster.
So I think I must go to the chat room right now, and this is off topic because I think Vaughan's doing his first ever washing right now. 40-year-old man. I think he said, question for the chat. When am I meant to put in Lenore, during the wash or after? This is complicated.
You know what? Sometimes there's things you maybe shouldn't read out. I'm
reading that out because it goes back to what Andrew Tate says, right? Despairing at the state of this nation. Mm-hmm. Come on, man! You can wash your clothes. Come on, please.
You know what? Google is your friend.
But no, there are two drawers within your washing machine. One is for your washing detergent, and one is for your softener. Lenore being your softener.
Well, hold on there, Bald Eagle.
Well, two spaces within the drawer.
Yeah, no, that's better.
One drawer.
Because there's usually one drawer, yeah.
So put one in one and one in the other, and then put the machine on before the wash.
Don't answer anymore because he'll then start asking you which slot goes where. Don't engage. Carry on.
We will carry on. I apologise. Yes, Boris Johnson is a bit of a dick, isn't he?
Yes, indeed he is.
Is this
a desperate attempt to stay relevant or what?
Speaking of desperate attempts to stay relevant, I think our next slide. I think that's a well placed phrase to move on.
I don't think she's trying to stay relevant. I think she's trying to save her ass.
Yeah, so Caroline Ellison, former CEO of Alameda Holdings, the sister company of FTX, has pled...
And now described as ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend has pled guilty to 7 fraud charges and is cooperating fully... for a reduced sentence or even no sentence at all. So she's going to get away with it for the most part, by the looks of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they need somebody to speak to it, and if she kept her mouth shut, you'd probably find they wouldn't be prosecuting anyone because they wouldn't have enough evidence. Well,
this is it. DW says, "Is she the next Harry Potter?" And Dark Spy says, "What a look!" Let's not bully the. I'm not sure she's human, but let's not bully her based upon her look, shall we? But she's.
What would she be on Harry Potter as? House elf.
The Dobby, the house elf, yeah.
Anyway, right, yeah. Let's not be cruel. Let's not unnecessarily cruel at this point in time.
I mean, she paid $250,000 in bail. She's not in jail at the moment. She's on bail. She was spotted in New York last week in the coffee shop, and I think that picture was set up. I think that picture was set up to show Sam, look, I'm in New York and I'm not in prison.
Yeah, you're fucked, mate.
You are fucked.
At that point, if you were Sam, you'd have jumped on the private jet and you'd have gone somewhere like Argentina and fathered a child.
Yeah. But Trudy says, "Is that an adult?" She's not even 30 yet, Trudy.
No, she is an adult. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not yet 30, but she is an adult.
I think that's still considered an adult.
Well, I'm not so sure we should be considering anyone under 30 an adult these days, to be honest.
That means you just squeak in.
Yeah, that's fine. But I just look at them and I despair.
That spy does have a valid point. Not everyone is as attractive as us, and that's why I did say let's not be unnecessarily cruel.
I know it's not fair, is it? It's just not fair to other people. There is a high standard here, and they must reach it, and it's quite difficult. I mean, when we have Adam on as well, when it's the three of us, fucking hell, everyone. There's no comparison. There's no competition. We are absolutely stunning.
I mean, we bring Adam in for the there's no other way to say it. We bring Adam in for the homosexuals.
You should see the pictures we've got to put in his thumbnails. It does look like he's come straight off of a Tinder profile or a Grindr profile, doesn't it?
It does. He's a good-looking boy.
He is a good-looking boy. Vaughn says, "Imagine her and Gettr scissoring."
No. You're reading too much out. We don't need to go down these routes, okay? This isn't something that we really want to pursue. I mean, the thing is, you can't talk about Gettr because people still think she's a child. She's not. She's going to be 20.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
Adam says, "I can't help being attractive to the men of the world too."
Absolutely, you can't, Adam. You can't.
Well, we do diversity here. We like to offer something for everybody, and as John said, we offer up Adam as a sacrificial lamb to the. We
are equal opportunity assassins.
Yeah, we are.
We'll have a go at you, no matter what your predilection is.
I think Trudy may be looking at the emoji she's just put in the chat. I think she may be imagining Caroline and Gettr scissoring.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Steady on, Trudy.
Vaughn says you'd probably want to watch that video out of curiosity, at least. Well, we're still waiting for the promised Caroline and Sam video. What
happened to that?
What happened to that? What happened to that?
Who was it promised as that? Was it Adam?
No, it wasn't Adam. It was there was a website that went out called FTX Leaks or something, and it said if they don't do this, that, or the other by this time, I'm going to release their sex video.
Have you considered there may have been a scam.
I said it was a scam.
Much like the FTX Ponzi scheme in the first place. Much like Bitcoin in the first place. The whole thing's a scam. Now, if you're in early enough, there's a chance for you to make money. But it is a Ponzi scheme. Let's not beat around the bush. It is a Ponzi scheme.
Well, Sam certainly won't be beating around Caroline's bush.
Oh my God, that's shocking. This is not Friday night. Just calm your jets. Right, anyway, on to a more serious thing.
Right.
So, Jade Jenks, sorry. So she's a designer.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's now been found guilty of first-degree murder, which means premeditated. And it's hard not to get found guilty of premeditated murder when you've already poisoned a guy and then strangled him to death.
Yep.
Right? So she poisoned and strangled her stepfather to death.
Mm-hmm.
When she found 100 nude photographs of her on his laptop. But here's the bit I don't quite get.
Okay. He
didn't take the photos. She did. They're her photos. She took the photos.
Why is she taking over 100 nudes of herself?
That's the part I don't get. I have hundreds, I must have thousands of photographs by now.
Mm.
I do not have a single photograph in which I am entirely nude.
No, I'm the same, but, never say never.
But why would you have 100? Is this a woman thing?
I honestly, I don't know, but,
I just don't know. I mean, I don't have any naked photographs.
So maybe she had an OnlyFans, they were on her OnlyFans, and he didn't pay.
I just don't know. But I mean, I know maybe I'm taking the wrong message from this report, but that's the one that really niggled at me. Why she got all these photographs of herself?
Yeah, but you do also want to question why he took the nude photographs or stole the nude
photographs. No, because he's a perv. That's fine. He's a perv. We can understand that. I mean, like you said yourself at the beginning of the show, men are pervs.
I didn't say men are pervs. I said humans.
Well, you said
we're
all pervs, right? So I mean, that's fine. He's a perv.
And every one of you in this chat, man or woman, or watching back, right? If you try and tell me you're not a perv, I'm going to look you straight down this camera and call you a fucking liar. You're a liar. Yeah. I mean, but then it's a bit much if your own stepdaughter.
Adam says just say no when ladies ask you for nudes. I've never been asked for a nude.
If you're being asked for a nude, why not just turn up nude? There you go, dear.
Because that's the time it becomes a surprise party.
Trudy says, I'm saying nothing without a solicitor being present.
Oh, I think it's a girl thing. It must be a girl thing.
I honestly don't know.
See, this is another point where men and women aren't equal, and we don't strive for it.
I would actually turn around and say women, from my experience, are way bigger pervs than men.
Generally, yeah.
I would say that from my experience. You find, like, the amount of times...
They just hide it.
But you say that. The amount of times and places and inappropriate places I've had hands all over me in nightclubs from women, right? Oh, yeah. And I've never seen men do the same in return. And I know it happens, but then when men do the same, it's usually called assault, right? But...
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying. Saying. Vaughn says he just found Jade Jenks' nudes.
Okay. That was quick. That's a bit worrying. That was even quicker than Adam.
Yeah. And, I'm just saying, look, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on, one more time.
Catch you on Fortnite later, Vaughn.
Yeah. But maybe because I've got a show to do tonight, but... Oh,
no, maybe not.
You are a perv. You. Yes. You.
What?
You.
ABC reporter Kirsten Hinchell was paid thousands by a lobbying firm to make hit pieces on politicians. Right?
Yes.
So, ABC reporter and producer, right, was paid at least 14 grand by one particular company to lowball Democrat politicians with easy answers. Easy questions, sorry.
Really?
Easy answer. Yeah. And people think this people are surprised at this, right? Now, this is the mainstream media reporting on the mainstream media. That's actually starting to get quite interesting. So what's going on? Why is that coming out? Because you know what? That happens in America, and lobbying is a kind of legal format that they go through when it comes to Congress and things. It happens here too. It's just done behind closed doors here, in gentlemen's clubs and behind the facade of lunch and things like that.
Absolutely.
But it happens here too. It's just not formalised. So we're even sneakier bastards than the Americans. So anyway, yeah, I'm surprised it's actually being reported.
Well, hey Trudy. I was not doing an impersonation of a blow-up fucking doll. What I was doing was shocked. Shocked.
Right, stop it. Anyway, carry on. Right, so the next one comes from Les, who is a bit... What would you call him? Some people would call him a Russian propagandist, right?
I don't get this account, and I mean, someone who attacked me, and called me Freemason and trans and all of that. He went after Les. Same guy that came after me went after Les and said, "This is a Freemason. I know who this is." I don't know.
It's because he reports things
because he's crazy.
He does what we do to a certain degree, in that he shows things that Ukraine purport to be reality in the true light of day. It's like, remember when the missile went into the kitchen through the teeny tiny hole in the roof, and the kitchen wasn't exploded.
Yeah.
So, this is another one, right? So what we had here, and I'm not going to show you the video because there are dead bodies in it.
Yeah.
Right? The question is are
real?
they dead bodies, and were they placed there or whatever? But there's what appears to be a dead body at a wedding.
Right.
Okay. Now, it's supposed to have been shelled and people died.
Okay.
Now, can you see a problem with the shelling? Because if I said to you there's a dead body lying on the floor covered in blood just to the right of that right-hand table, okay?
With all that perfectly placed food, cutlery and crockery.
Yeah, why is that still there?
That is
because you think if a shell came in and had enough shrapnel
and force
to kill someone.
Not just shrapnel, but the sheer force.
The glass has still got wine or drink in it.
Yeah. And that doesn't make much sense, does it?
Glasses look at the glasses, they're still standing up.
Yep. That doesn't make much sense, does it?
No, it makes no sense whatsoever. Now, the second question is, the dead body is dressed in military fatigues.
What?
Yeah.
At a wedding?
Yeah.
Try harder, please.
So, this is just pure propaganda. This is Wag the Dog stuff, but without it actually being as good as Wag the Dog. They guys should have watched Wag the Dog. Have you watched Wag the Dog yet? Have you watched it yet, Vaughn?
Listen, John.
Yes.
Let me take you off topic for a minute, right? Because I'm supposed to be doing a happy show tonight. The Chasing Dissent Christmas Bash starts live at 9 p.m. There's going to be no news, no politics. I'm literally going to be singing songs. We're going to be joking around with the chat, having a laugh, right? And it's going to be a good time and a good vibe. And it's a one and done. So the second the show's finished, it's getting deleted from YouTube, right?
Yeah.
How am I meant to get in the mood to do that when you keep giving me shit like this?
No, because I'll get you in the mood this afternoon.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get in a happy go lucky.
Very, very trying. I'll give you that. Well, hold on. We're getting towards the lighter end.
Okay.
But first of all, we need to go to the BMJ.
Okay.
Now, the BMJ produced this survey saying that everything causes cancer, according to people who believe and have attitudes towards that veer towards anti-vaxxing or flat earthers, reptilian conspiracy theorists. These people, right, believe everything causes cancer, right? This is according to this study by the BMJ. Now, this paper in particular should never have been published. This reduces the BMJ to the level of a comic.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a study on 1,494 people. Now, let that sink in. 1,494, right? Of which 209 had identified themselves as anti-vax.
But had they? Because we can't trust the definition.
Yeah. So, but even if 209 of them had identified as such, right? That's just over what? That's just about
20%.
It's not. Is it 20%? Is it as much as that?
Well,
1494. It's about. I thought about 12% of them.
It's about 17% if you're looking at 200.
Anyway, so, but a study of 1,500 people is not going to be statistically significant in any measure.
No, and you
That's
can't.
a ridiculous thing to publish in a professional journal.
But you say that. All of the things that they publish on YouGov, for example, right? They're usually studies of about 800 to 2,000 people.
But that is a joke.
Yeah, but
that's not a real site. That's a parody, isn't it?
No, YouGov is real.
No, it's got to be a parody. You can't take polls of that amount of people and
purport them
to be the truth. No, that's a parody. It's got to be a parody. I mean, it's even run by a guy who parodies being an MP.
Listen, the entire polling industry is a parody, right? As far as I'm concerned, because they do this all of the time. They run polls. Oh, some of these polls I've seen have had 70, 75 respondents, and then they'll extrapolate that out and say, Brits, you'll get a front page story. Brits say this, and no.
So what they're actually doing it's called modelling, and that worked out really well for us.
I have another word for it, John.
What?
Lying.
Yeah.
Lying. I mean, there is literally a book called How to Lie with Statistics.
Yes, there is indeed. And believe it or not, this is done an hour. Well, an hour minus, 10 minutes. So, David Atherton reports about this thing that occurred in Kabul, in the university there.
Yeah.
In which male students walked out of their finals, right?
Yeah.
Because girls were banned from the universities.
Right.
And a number of male teachers have resigned in protest. Right?
Okay.
Because of the Taliban. So this is Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to end well for these people.
I don't think it's going to end well for them either, because we know the Taliban are full of shit, right?
And the thing is, if you're dealing with such an oppressive regime, it will fall at some point, right? But the problem is, to bring it down, a lot of people are going to die.
I agree, and it's no good. It's not good. We're not championing this, but they.
Oh no.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, people should be left alone to pursue whatever they want in life, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else. And the Taliban did lie. They said that we would allow girls and women to continue their studies. They said they would. They're clearly going back on it, and I can see why some of this pushback is occurring. And do you know what? Rightfully so. Because if somebody takes your country by force and you don't want them there has to be a pushback, right? Tories, right? Right? Energy companies, right? People,
you know who you are,
right? I am so shocked we haven't seen a pushback like that here.
I know.
I'm so shocked. But,
That's because we've been cowed over the last 2 or 3 years. People
I haven't.
Yeah, I know you haven't, but the problem is you're a statistically insignificant person, because there's not enough people. Not enough people are critically thinking, and not enough people are prepared to take action. That's the problem. If you can't act on your own, you need a group to do it, and then you can't do it because you can't rely on a group, and you can't call for anything. You know what I mean?
I do.
You can't organise anything because you know what I mean. You know, it's like it would have to be spontaneous, and there's not enough people. It doesn't affect enough people for it to be spontaneous. That's the problem.
You're absolutely right. And speaking of acting and spontaneity, let's move to our next slide, because I called this from the fucking first day.
Now, I will caveat it with the fact that it's unsubstantiated right? And it's
I can
hearsay.
substantiate it because I went there.
Yeah, okay, but this clip from a tweet or from a phone's meant to be that the Nightingales were basically
film sets
constructed as a set, and there was nothing of real import.
There was no running fucking water. There was no full toilet facilities, right? And when I went to XL London, do you know what I found?
No.
I found all of the dividing walls that they had built for the, inside, just in a pile out the back.
Yeah.
It was a film set.
I have no doubt. I had no doubt at the time either. No doubt whatsoever.
And they spent millions of pounds, millions of your money on these film sets. And I mean, look at the one that they built a massive one in Manchester, and no one ever went in it. It was literally all they did was put massive fencing around it, hire a load of private security to look out for it day in, day out, and did nothing with it. It was all bollocks.
So speaking of bollocks, or in that region, how do you get a World War I shell stuck up your bum?
I sent you this, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
There's two ways that this can happen. There's two ways.
Is one of them going to be slipped and fell?
Well, no. Now there's three ways, right?
Right. Okay.
So the first way is that you got into an altercation with somebody, they beat you up and forcibly inserted the World War I explosive into your rectum.
Right.
And the second one...
You're Volodymyr Zelensky.
You were trying to have a bit of fun.
Right, so this happened in France.
Yeah.
That picture that you see isn't the actual one.
No, it won't be.
That's a water bottle that some guy stuck up his ass in New York. Why, people? Why?
The human race is an interesting thing. And
it's like, it's designed for stuff to come out.
I've got an answer. I've got an answer for you. I know why, John.
Go on.
Because you're all fucking pervs.
Oh.
All of you. You watching this right now. You know it. I know it. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Now, I think we're on the last slide. I'd just like to say this poor lady has a horrible predicament, right?
Right.
It seems to be that her breast won't stop growing.
Yeah.
Right? Her boyfriend, on the other hand, doesn't seem that upset.
He doesn't, does he?
Does he?
He looks quite. He looks, but then she doesn't look too upset in the picture. She's trying to hold back a smile.
No,
she's like,
but he's grinning from ear to ear. He's like the Cheshire cat.
Do you know why, John?
He's like the cat that got the cream, isn't he?
Do you know why, John?
Why, Ben?
Because he's a perv.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, there's certainly been a theme to this episode today, isn't there?
Yeah, well, when you start with a perv, you go to end with a perv, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
And that perv being Vladimir Zelensky, the perv. The perv in charge of Ukraine. I've seen a lot of tweets today about how gratifying it is to see that people aren't listening to his spiel anymore. And you know what? It is gratifying, but it's also disappointing that it's taken people nearly a year, people, to get to grips with the fact that the whole thing's a setup. You know, by the governments, by the WEF, and by the MSM, the whole thing's a fucking setup. It's so obvious. And it was so obvious from the word go. It was exactly like that other setup they started 3 years ago, or
yes.
2 years ago, right? So, was that only 2 years? Bloody hell. Was that only 2 years? I know. Right, so it was exactly like that.
It's been a long 2 years, isn't it?
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's been a long 2 years. And speaking of long 2 years, we're still poor after those 2 years. So
it's actually nearly 3 years, to be fair.
Well, yeah, we're still on the breadline here.
Poor,
destitute.
Fun fucking wind me up this morning.
I got a final reminder for my electric bill saying pay us money. I gave you 70 quid already. I can't give you any more at the moment. 409 quid they want for the month of November, right?
Well, I thought you'd given them 70.
I have, yeah. I just said that. I've given them 70 quid, but they want more. It's like trying to get
tell
blood
them
out.
to be thankful.
Yeah. It's like trying to get blood out of a fucking stone. And I know that the situation is repeated everywhere. But if you are able to spare a little bit for a monthly donation, then please consider doing so at patreon.com/chasing dissent, or indeed Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/chasing dissent. Tonight is going to be a little bit of a fundraiser for me because I need a holiday. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to donate it to charity. Anything I do raise tonight, I'm taking for a holiday because I think I deserve one. What about you, John?
Yeah, I deserve one too, but I can't afford one. What I would say though is, unlike Vladimir Zelensky, if you donate any money to us, we will be 100% upfront about where it's going. Right? It's going to me and Ben. Not going anywhere else. You donate to us, we spend it.
It was Natasha.
That's how this business model works.
It was Natasha who said to me last year, because I was going to do a musical show for charity last year when I was considering it, and it was I will always remember Natasha saying to me, "No, do it for yourself."
Yeah, charity begins at home.
Just do it for yourself.
At home, lad.
And you know what? I think. You know, we perform these shows for people 5 days a week.
Well, it's right. Let me address this before. Just let me address this once and for all, okay?
Right.
Now, DW has asked no Saudi weapons in, right?
You don't do that anymore, do you, John?
Well, right. Think about it, DW. The fucking market has been pulled out of the arms dealing, right? Because
done.
That little cunt Zelensky is selling all the fucking arms he's getting to the Middle East, to Africa, to South America. They're all turning up there. How the hell is somebody supposed to make a decent crust?
Now Russia's managed to get themselves the old Merchant of Death back, and that's it. The arms dealing race is done. It's done. It's done.
Fucking, it's just like crypto. It's a Ponzi scheme now. And it just goes in a circle. It's like they said, because the industrial military complex makes the arms, Biden gives them to Ukraine, Ukraine sells them to everybody that's not supposed to have them, and then they make more. And it just goes round and round.
I will tell you. I'll tell you what. Does the show look a bit smoother today for everybody? By the way, because I've upped the quality. It should be at 1080p and 60 frames a second. So
60 frames a second shouldn't make any difference.
But it should.
Because it's not as if we're doing sports.
No, it's not.
We're sitting in our chair talking to people.
Yeah, I know, but I've just tried to up the quality of everything, make it look and sound a bit better. Spencer says it looks great. There you go.
Yeah, you misunderstand here. Okay, frames per second doesn't equal better quality.
No, it equals smoother video.
No, it doesn't. It equals jerkier video. Because you think about it, you go and watch a football match on one of these digital systems that's shown at high frame rates, right? And your eye sees every frame. That's the problem, and it doesn't blend.
Everybody's saying it looks great.
It might look great, but it just looks just as good at 30 and uses half the bandwidth.
Yeah, but
so you want to put everything at risk by upping the bandwidth, then fine. So you get a blip in your 5G and everything just falls out the arse. You do not need to increase the frame rate to improve the quality. This is where people get it all wrong. Hey, if you want to ask me beforehand, I would tell you this off air.
I didn't ask you, I asked the people.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you fucking people don't have a clue, because they could be watching at 480p. You've no idea what they're viewing at.
I know what I'm transmitting at.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, because what they're viewing at is what you're talking about, not what you're transmitting at. You transmit the best you can, and it doesn't matter if it goes at 30 or 60.
Yeah, whoever 11 says, "Am I in time for the end?" Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are. Bye.
And with that, John, you better close out the show, because you know what? I'm all of my good mood and my goodwill for tonight's show is gone. Somehow I've got to get in a good mood.
Well, if you keep doing stupid things, you'll keep getting pulled down.
Make everything slightly nicer, better, smoother.
I'd like to thank everyone for attending this episode 178 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and with Ben, the stupid one.
And if you're watching live, we'll see you tonight. Oh, I will see you tonight at 9 p.m.
It's been great. For you.
For you.
Christmas, all the Christmas trees on fire. Santa's holding the lighter. My parents are both liars. I got gifts but 1 subscribers. Thanks for the candy basket. Oh God, another jacket. My stocking's filled with acid. Am I dreaming? What just happened?